maybe I don't look like a beggar. To be a hacker, I wanted to be a music. Yeah, I was self-love mode.
This is a very, very, very special episode about a songwriter, a singer, and a guitarist who goes by the name just Shakeel. Shakeel, a person who did not wait for opportunities, did not wait for that big music label to sign him, even though we know it's very close. We can see it as an audience, but he did not wait. He created opportunities for himself. Welcome to the School of Zero, Shakeel.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here.
Shakeel, I read a little bit about you in your bio, but just the way it is, the School of Zero does not plan. It's zero. The talk show is raw, it's real, it's organic and transparent, and that is why I discourage myself from knowing the other person's journey, because I stick to the point of alignment. What made me feel aligned with this human being, and what about them made me feel aligned with their journey, where I took the plunge and I said, I want this person as a guest at the School of Zero. And about you, a few months ago, I had seen you on Bandra Busk.
Okay.
Yes,
Not long.
yes. And Joanne and Sheldon are doing a great job on Bandra Busk platform, where they're covering real stories too. But then, of course, I saw you, and then it faded out.
Yeah.
But at that moment when I saw you in the video, and I got to know a boy in India, in Bandra, is out on the street singing. That's all I knew. But then when my team head at the School of Zero, Cecilia, shared your bio with me, and it said, street singing to raise funds for music school.
Yeah.
Tell me your journey, how it has been, and you're not from Mumbai, am I correct?
I'm not. Yeah.
I'll let you speak. Let's get started.
I've been singing since childhood, you know. होता है कि when you are a kid and you sing, they make you sing in all sorts of places. You know, if someone comes, if a guest comes, Shakeel गाना गा दे बेटा, you know. So, so I've been singing since childhood, but I'm not a very trained person. I'm not a trained musician.
But it's
And,
inherent. You were born
yeah.
with this voice, and you were born with the passion and a strong bond with music. Can we say that?
I've just sang so much, I could say.
Okay.
Yeah, and there is a bond, of course. So I am not trained, and I wanted to do this full time, you know, a lifetime thing. And I know for sure that I cannot do it until I learn, you know, in a proper way. So I tried to find teacher at my location.
Which part of India are you from?
Okay, so I am born in Uttar Pradesh, north, and then we shifted to Karnataka 15 years ago, and we've been living there for past 15 years. So in Karnataka, I tried to learn music, and I had no money. The guitar class fee was literally just 350 rupees in 2012, and my family didn't have that much money. So I had to drop that thought of learning guitar from that teacher. I did go for a month, and then after 3 years, after I dropped out of college, to finally, you know, I kind of knew that I don't want to do this thing.
This thing? College?
The college thing.
What were you pursuing in college?
I was doing BCA, Bachelor's in Computer Applications.
Okay.
I was pretty good, bright one. So now I knew what I did not want to do. And I had few things, you know, I wanted to be a hacker, I wanted to be a music. Yeah, I was pretty good with the codes. I knew about 10
Okay.
languages.
Okay. Well, this is some new information for me. I'm not going to go into it. That is why I reacted this way. Hacker? Like, hacker is a job?
Yeah,
Is it career?
It is.
Okay, enlighten me about it later on. Yes.
Sure. My friends, you know, kind of thought that he would be next Mark Zuckerberg or something like that.
There's no harm in thinking.
Yeah, so I was quite good at coding and stuff. And I was a big fan of Arijit Singh, so I made
Who
a
is
website.
not, in
Yeah,
India?
of course, who's
Yes.
not? So I made a website, completely coded, nothing copied. That website was arijitsingfans.com. And it's not there because I didn't pay for the domain after a year. The problem with music was that I was not a learned musician, and the ultimate question is how do you monetize it? You know, if you want to do something,
Yes.
you know, and
It's gonna, the passion's gonna pay your,
right.
feed your soul. The passion will feed your soul.
What about
But
the
the
food?
money is gonna bring the food on the table.
Right.
I completely get it, yes. So then what was your next approach in this process of discovering
So
how to set a path for yourself into music?
about 2014-15, that was the time I saw a street video, a girl, a very small, she's grown up now, her name is Ali Sherlock. She performs on the streets of Ireland, Dublin, Ireland. And I was like, I could do something like this in India, and what if it works, you know? I had those thoughts, log kya kahenge, parents kya sochenge. I
Like
was
what people are gonna say? What if I get onto the streets and start singing on the streets? People are gonna label me as a street singer. So
Beggar.
you
That's,
as
yeah,
a beggar
they do, yeah.
in India.
Not with me, it didn't happen, but normally if you're doing something like that, they think he's begging. Not that it happened with me, but it has happened with other buskers who have been around before me and who left because of it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just a misunderstanding that people think that he's begging because he's on
Because
the
he's
street.
singing on the street.
Yeah. It didn't happen with me. I've had very good experience, by the way. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Because you were meant to bring that shift and the change in the thought process and the perception of people.
Maybe I don't look like a beggar.
You brought up a very important thing. Nobody's laughing here. You heard what he said. It's a good one. Listen, you brought up a very important thing here that aligns with the Self-Love Festival and Reetu Walia's Self-Love method. When you said, maybe I don't look like a beggar. Shakeel and everybody here, you look like what you feel like, and you feel like what you think like. It matters what you think about yourself. I will share something with you about me.
Please.
I grew up from the age of 3. I've been on stage performing arts
Wow.
and acting and dancing, but theater, only stage. And stage was always home for me. That's how much I used to spend time on stage.
Amazing.
And people used to appreciate me, not bragging, but very rarely I stood second in anything when it came to performing arts.
Amazing.
I was always like first, the winner. I didn't believe in myself.
After
I-
being the first.
Yes, I am a self-love coach who has grown up majority of her life in self-doubt. And that is why I understand the meaning and the significance of self-love, especially in today's time. I did not believe that I am a good dancer. I did not believe that I am really talented. When people would say, Reetu, this was so good, you were so good, I would just filter it out thinking, What good?
Like you say to yourself, "Mujhe pata, I know what I am." You say what you
No,
say. Not
no,
like that.
no,
I
Shakeel.
have that thing in me. Yeah.
Is this true? Really?
Yeah.
Like, even though I'm holding the first place prize in my hands, I'm like zoned out. Now, when I go back as an adult and I go back into my childhood, I rewind it and see it from the psychological perspective and from the self-love perspective. I understand. I was always seeking outside validation. I wanted my mother to appreciate me. I wanted my father to appreciate me. And if I did not get that appreciation from my direct family, because I was seeking validation there, then no matter what the world told me about me, and no matter how much the world appreciated me about my talent, I'd be like, so big deal. It was not a big deal. Forget it. It was not even a deal for me.
I get it.
So, like you just said right now, my first research project, when it came to doing research in self-love, is who, you know? Who do you think the first person is?
I don't know.
Me.
Okay.
I have been my own guinea pig. I have been very transparent with myself, the self-love coach. And my journey, in all honesty, I did not do well there because I was doubting myself. So what if somebody else would have been in my place and was battling self-doubt? What would they have done? And that's how my research is built. And then, of course, I've observed human behavior. I've studied clinical psychology in college back in LA and things like that. But you gave birth to such an important topic here. Maybe I didn't look like a beggar, even though you said it in a very casual, joking way. I want you to see the depth of it, and I want everybody here to see the depth of it. You look what you feel on the inside, and you feel what you think about you. And that's why the philosophy of the School of Zero is what's on the inside reflects on the outside. So inside, my dear, you're a rock star.
Thank you.
Do you agree or not? On the inside, since childhood, Shaquille is a rock star. So he didn't care. This rock star did not need a stage. The rock star was on a stage already. You put yourself on a platform. And when I watched your video on Instagram, on Bandra Bus, I was like, believe me, and I'm not saying this because you are here or I'm being biased or you are on the School of Zero. I don't do that. I was like, this boy is going to go places.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you've heard that from a lot of people, Shakeel. I'm
I
not
do.
the first person. I am not the first person to say this. Do you know why we feel that way towards you?
Please
Even
tell
though
me.
we don't know you, we don't know much about you, it's because the energy you execute outside, which is, I'm a rock star. That's the energy I felt when I saw
Thank
your
you.
video. So let's continue. Maybe I don't look like a beggar. So here's the thing, in India, street singing, I'm not saying everywhere, but at most of the places, is considered as begging.
I think it's the way you present yourself. For me, I've seen others, the way they present themselves is different. They look like what people say. They don't look like the performers.
You know what the depth of that is? Present themselves, they look like that they are begging. You know what the thought process and the approach towards their existence is, the deeply rooted?
I don't know. Please tell me.
Self-pity. The word in Hindi is मैं बेचारा.
Right.
तो आप
Yeah.
choose करो, मैं बेचारा, self-pity मुझे पे दया करो. And then there is another aspect to the coin, another kind of people who say, What's there to pity? What's there to sympathize? I have a talent that doesn't need money to go out on the streets and sing.
Yeah, exactly.
I am a singer beyond any opportunity. I'm a singer. It's important for people to understand that you were different and you were treated with respect on the streets of India as a street singer
Yeah.
because you did not go into the self-pity mode. You went into the
Self-love mode.
yes,
I don't know. Maybe unknowingly.
and that's the best way, unknowingly. Because right now on social media, hashtag self-love is happening knowingly, which we can go later. I want to touch base more on your path. So how did you overcome, did you have fear or doubt of being treated as a beggar?
That was never a thought because
Never
I'm not
a
a beggar.
See, no self-pity mode, it was self-belief mode. So when you pity yourself, मैं बेचारा, no one's going to believe you because you are बेचारा. But when you say I'm a rock star, everyone's going to believe in you because you believe in you.
Yeah.
There, you have two choices, self-belief or self-pity.
Hmm.
And you didn't pity yourself.
No.
You didn't live under the pressure of the circumstances, if I'm correct here.
What do you mean by the pressure of circumstances here?
Like you mentioned in the beginning of this episode that the family did not have extra money to pay fees for your
No, so I left home soon after I dropped out.
college.
Yeah, I did some Android app development thing and like that, but I had a lot of time, and that time I was like I could do music. So there was one teacher in the whole town. I went up to him and I said, "Sir, I'm back. I want to join." And he says, "What are you doing? What's this?" I was like, "This is the fee," and he says, "Fee now is 750." And that gave me a big heartbreak. I was like, that's all I have. And I told him that I'll come back tomorrow with the whole money and I'll join. And he said, sure. I was like, ab main kya karun? What do I do? Because I've left college. There's no way I can ask for anything else now. Because parents see you different now. I've crushed their dreams. They wanted to see me having degree because no one in my whole generation, the family has ever done a degree in anything. The one thought he had was कि मेरा बेटा degree करेगा. So I crushed that dream. So I did not ask, and I was like, now that I don't have parents, I mean, like, not they are dead, they're not there for me now. That's the way I was thinking. What do I do now? How do I do it myself? So I went up to the teacher next day and I told him that I'll do your assistant job. I'll
Creating opportunities. Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm good. When I see a person, I know what the person's journey is. You didn't just create an opportunity. I'm praising myself, I know here. But I am so excited to know that I knew that your journey was not street singing only. And I don't know, something within 10 or 15 seconds, Cecilia, I wrote down a boy who did not wait for an opportunity but is creating opportunities. You have that in your inherent nature. Boy,
Thank you.
there is a group, a huge group of your age group who is waiting. Once I complete my degree, I will be this, I will be that, I will be a singer. Let's talk about your field. I'll be a singer, I'll be an actor when a producer or a music label signs me. I know I cut you. I will let you complete, but this is so important for people to know about you. Nobody can defeat you. The way he is leading his life in self-belief. And you know what? You're not just believing in yourself, you're believing in your journey. So you said, I will work as your assistant.
Yeah, and I told him that I'll do anything you want me to do. I'll mop the floor, I'll clean the outside things, you know, the place, and I'll teach as soon as I learn something. So he was like, okay, give me a day, I'll think about it and I'll tell you tomorrow or day after. And a day after, he calls me and tells me the key is with me, this is my address, come collect the key. And he asked me, how would you do your lunch thing? Would you close the shop? I was like, I'll bring my lunch.
Shop in the sense? What shop? Music.
The music school. I'm calling it a shop.
Music school.
Yeah, it's a very small
It doesn't matter.
music school. Yeah. So I woke up early. I went to the school. For a few days I learned the basics, and after that I started, you know, basic things I started teaching children. And he actually didn't teach me.
How did you learn?
He was teaching others.
And you learned
I
by
saw
watching.
it, and he used to ask me, तुमने देख लिया ना? I was like, yes, I देख लिया. Teach him that. So I did that for 5 months, and after that we had some misunderstandings, and I left for Bangalore. So I worked for him for 5 months teaching others, and that's how I actually learned the basics of guitar. I didn't know anything about guitar. And then my best friend Shravan comes from Bangalore doing his internship somewhere, and he got some small money, and he hands me over that 7,000 and says, "तू Bangalore जा, यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं रखा."
Your friend just comes to you and gives you
The money.
money.
He earned. And he was like कि तू वहाँ पे जा, वहाँ पे टीचर का जॉब कर. I went to Bangalore. I approached a lot of music schools.
This was which year?
This was 2017. In the beginning, the first thing when I approached a music school, I just went up straight to the school and asked them I want job. I knocked and they opened. क्या चाहिए? I was like, job के लिए आया था. किसने बुलाया? Where's your resume? क्या कर रहे हो यहाँ पे? You don't know anything. Resume होता है ये वो. So he actually sat with me and told me about कि ऐसा ऐसा होता है. Then I started applying for music schools, but then I have no experience, no written experience. All I know is basics of guitar that I have done. मैंने लिखा हुआ assistant guitar teacher, but I don't know anything about music. So I didn't get the job. Time passed. Now I had to live in Bangalore, eat in Bangalore, and get money. There was no music school. I had to work. And I started looking for jobs, you know. First I tried to work in multinational companies. Yeah, degree नहीं है, entry नहीं है.
Graduation.
Yeah, I didn't complete that. Didn't happen. Then जो 12th के ऊपर होता है, I tried that, and they didn't let me in because I was too overconfident. I feel that now. I remember that कि मैं कैसे था. I used to be like this and like this, you know. So I was too confident because I think I believed कि मैं बहुत ज़्यादा smart हूँ. So because of that I didn't get the job. In fact, कई जगह पे मुझे ये बोल के हटा दिया कि you are overqualified. When I applied for marketing in malls, even sales job के लिए जब मैंने apply किया, didn't happen. तो I had no money now. Shravan gave me another month of time, but that time passed. I worked in BPO, night shift, 7 days, no sales. They kicked me out. Didn't happen. And I have no money now. And I was like, what do I do? Because I cannot go back home. I would die here. I'm not going back home.
What was the reason that you didn't want to go back home? Was it your ego that, no, I'm going to prove myself? Or was it your parents?
I think
Not
the
accepting you.
disappointment, to see the disappointment of my parents seeing me as a failure, that जाके क्या कर लिया तूने?
That is why we wanted you to get a degree.
हाँ, कहा था सुन ले. I was like नहीं करेंगे. A friend of mine who stayed in the same PG I stayed, he suggested do a hotel job. They give food, they give money, and they give a place to live as well. The day was closed. I had to leave my PG and had to shift somewhere. So my friend, he told me कि तू मेरे रेस्टोरेंट में आ जा, एक बार बात करते हैं, वहाँ पे चाहिए कोई. They took my interview. They said कि इतना देंगे, and I was like okay, कब से काम शुरू कर सकते हैं? मैं बोला मैम कल से शुरू कर सकते हैं. And that was a Brahmin's hotel, and I am a Muslim.
Whose hotel?
Brahmin.
A Brahmin's
Yeah.
hotel.
And they were like, we'll change your name if that's okay. I was like, I'm totally okay with it. I don't mind. And they were like, okay, Ashwin, come from tomorrow.
So Shakeel became
Ashwin.
Shakeel, what did your journey till this point, we'll of course move ahead,
Yeah, yeah.
teach you? What do you think it taught you?
Humility. Because
Yes.
being on the street teaches you a lot of humility.
I feel there is something else. It taught you to be flexible.
that is that, yeah.
It taught you to be flexible and be like water, flow like water, and being in the art form that you are born on this planet for, which is singing. You gotta be like a water.
I think I've done that, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this journey of yours was Hindi में बोलती हूँ.
Please.
सोना को तराशने के लिए आग के नीचे तपना पड़ता है. एक म्यूजिशियन को भी ये सब करना पड़ता है to be a, उसका अंदर जो म्यूजिशियन है ना, वो बर्थ लेने के लिए बाहर.
Right.
जब तक आप ये स्ट्रगल नहीं देखते, आप फ्लेक्सिबल नहीं होते. और आप फ्लेक्सिबल बनोगे तो आपका वॉइस, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I feel that, yeah.
The training that you're seeking, yes, that's the cherry on the cake.
Right.
This journey was bringing Shakeel, the son. Do you have siblings?
We are 4 actually.
Okay,
We are
the
all
son,
brothers.
the brother, the friend, the student who dropped out, the boy who went to Bangalore, the boy who went to that music teacher. He said, that boy, this whole journey of that boy who was traveling this path was to that inherent singer that is inside you, and it will continue. If you say, I was overconfident, you had to experience that also. If you sit like that in front of me, I may think for a second, why is the person behaving this way? But then I'll dive deeper. Yeah? So if someone's getting offended by your confidence, Shakeel, that is their problem. If someone is getting offended by your confidence, that is their problem, not your problem. Yeah, now, however, is that confidence with an intention to look confident and put the other person down? Then it is wrong.
Right.
But if you're truly confident and you want to sit like that, that makes you feel comfortable, but that is making another person uncomfortable. But your intention is not to put the other person down, but just be you. Then be that confident self, no matter what the world thinks and how they feel around your energy.
I think in that case, like in terms of HR who took the interview, I think they know your energy. They know
Yes.
they want people for a long run, and they kind of
They
knew.
wanted commitment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they kind of knew that this guy won't last 2 months. He'll
Hmm.
just leave. He is here for the money. So I think they were right to judge. I wouldn't. Yeah, my thing was music. I would eventually come to that.
It was not the fear of being judged or fear of being rejected. Then what was stopping you from going out on the streets?
So I wanted to do the streets. If I wanted to do that, there was no people there. There was no thought of कि लोग क्या सुन. जब कोई बात बिगड़ जाए